All right, what's up, guys? It's Sean back again with another 88 walkthrough video. This is number 5 on the fall 2022 midterm. And this is sum divisible digits, problem 5. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, so it says complete the function sum divisible digits that accepts two integers, num and x. The function returns the sum of the digits of num that are divisible by x. Write U solution in the box provided. It should say your. You can assume x will be greater than 0. All right, just taking a look at the doc test. We'll pass in some number like 93,731 here, and we'll have x, which is 3. And we'll check every digit, and if it's divisible by 3, then we will add those digits together. So we can see here, 1 is not divisible by 3, so we don't include it. 3 is divisible by 3, so we take that 3 and we add it here. 7 is not divisible by 3, so we ignore it. This 3 is divisible by 3, so we add it here. 9 is divisible by 3, so we add it here. And same thing with 1, 6, 2, and 1. Well, every digit is divisible by 1, so that's why we just add every single digit in 162 here. All right, cool. So looking at the problem, we are given this sum divisible digits skeleton code. We have a couple of blanks. Let's think about what we can do to fill in these blanks. Well, we're given this total variable here, which is currently set to nothing. And at the end, we're thinking about returning total here. So my plan is that I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep adding to total. And at the end, we'll return whatever total is. So a common number we can start total off with is 0, because we want to start it off with 0, right? Because we start with 0, and then we add whatever digits here are divisible by x, and we will get our answer. So that's why we start total off with 0. Now we have this blank here, which I'm not totally sure what we're going to do with yet, so let's skip it for now. Next, we have this digit equals blank. Well, a common thing we learned in this class was that to get the last digit of a number, we can just do that number. I'm going to assume n is a number, and by modding it by 10, we will get the last digit. You can see how this is relevant in this problem, because we're kind of going through every single digit in num, and we're checking if that's divisible by x. So to get every single digit in num, we can use num mod 10, because what that will do is we will get the last digit of the current number, and we can iterate through every single digit inside of num. So because it's called digit, we can kind of assume that we want to get the last digit of the number in this case. Now we have this if statement here. Well, how do we know if we want to add a digit to total? Well, all we have to do is check if it's divisible by x, right? As it says in the instructions here. We want to find the sum of all the digits of num that are divisible by x. So if that current digit is divisible by x, then we will add it to total. How do we check if digit is divisible by x? Well, we can do the same thing with our mod operator. Because if digit is divisible by x, then we should get a remainder of 0. So we can just check if it is a remainder of 0, then that means that it is a multiple of digit, and it will be divisible by x. And so if it is divisible by x, then all we have to do is add that digit to total. Now, in this next line, well, looking at num, if our example was 93,731, and we just took a look at 1, well, we don't want to look at that digit 1 anymore, right? We want to somehow get rid of it. Well, if you recall, when we do a number, I'm just gonna say that it's n again, floor div 10, what will happen is we will get everything but the last digit. So essentially, if we plugged in 93,731 into n floor div 10, we would get back 9,373. And now we can take a look at this last digit instead of 1. So after taking a look at our last digit, we can effectively remove that last digit by doing num is equal to num floor div 10. And that looks good. Now, all we need to figure out is how we can iterate through every single digit in our number. Well, what I'm thinking of is a while loop, because if we're going to floor div every number, let's say inside 93,731 again, every time we do this check here, we're always going to do a floor div 10. So eventually, we'll get rid of 1 first, then we'll get rid of 3, we'll get rid of 7, get rid of 3, and then finally we'll have 9 floor div 10, which gives us 0. So one condition we can do is while num. And this works because what we'll do is we'll keep checking every digit inside the number. We'll check if it's divisible by x. If it is divisible, we'll add it to total. If it's not, we won't add it to total, and we'll floor div every time. And once we get to the last digit and we floor div it by 10, we'll get back 0. And because 0 is a falsy value, we can just run while num, because while num is essentially saying while num is equal to true. And the num will always be true until it equals to 0. And once it equals to 0, our while loop will stop and we will be finished. And yeah, that's pretty much the problem. See you guys in the next one.